Well guys, it's a couple days after our trip to the track. If you saw in our last video, we tried to run an 11-second pass in the Celine. No, 12-0! And we're real close. We're right there, almost on the money. But we got to take a look at everything and see how the car is doing. And I have a suspicion that we might have hurt something in the rear end department.
Now, one of the first things I did to this car when I first got it was actually service the rear end. I pulled the cover off. It had a pretty gnarly leak when I got it, and cleaned it all up, put fresh fluid in, and put a new gasket on, and that solved that leak. Well, today I decided to take the car out for the first time since the track, and she made a little bit of a noise, and I'm not quite sure what it was. Now here, if I grab the wheel and kind of wiggle it side to side, it's a little bit louder than it used to be. Now, this might be normal, and to be honest, I'm not super familiar with rear ends. I don't know a ton about them. To me, they're kind of black magic, almost like an automatic transmission. But I think it might be worth investigating and pulling off this cover off and taking a look and see what everything's looking like inside. And we'll put some thicker fluid in because I know it's got some Walmart crap from 6 years ago in there. So today I'm going to show you how to take the cover off of the differential. We'll inspect it, check everything out, and then we'll put a fresh gasket on, reseal it, and fill it up with some fresh fluid.
In terms of supplies, it's pretty simple. You're gonna want a new gasket for your differential cover, and you're gonna want 2 quarts of fluid. I decided to go with 75W140. It's a little bit thicker. You can run 75W90 in this if you want, but this car kind of gets the crap beat out of it, and we live in Florida, so the differential temp's gonna get a little high. This should help keep things nice and lubricated in there. And honestly, none of this was all that expensive. This was about 50 bucks worth of stuff. And one thing to mention here is that you can use any fluid as long as it's 75/90 or 75/140, and full synthetic, of course, is probably your best bet. But for these cars specifically, you're gonna wanna make sure it either has limited slip additive already mixed in it, or that you get some as well, because you'll need to add a couple ounces to it to make sure you don't destroy your diff. And to be able to swap this, you just need some basic tools.
In terms of the tools you're going to need for this is pretty simple. The bolts on the back of the diff cover are a 1/2 inch. You can also use a 13, but the 1/2 inch fits just a little bit snugger. You're going to want a couple extensions, or if you've got a deep well socket, that works too. I've got a 3/8 inch drive socket wrench here, and that's going to be for getting the fill plug out, which we're going to want to do first. I also got some brake clean and some shop towels just to kind of clean things up in case I make a mess, and a drain pan to collect all the old fluid.
Of course, I also have the car properly supported on 2 jack stands. I've got the jack on this side to kind of help support it as a failsafe. But you can also use something like these quick jacks, which I have but didn't feel like dragging out, or a lift. If you have that at your disposal, obviously those will be way easier than jacking it up like this. But for me, this was the fastest way to do this, and for most people, that's what you're gonna have. So you can definitely accomplish this job with just these few things. And one last thing you might want to be able to pry that cover off is a good flathead screwdriver or pry bar, whichever you have will work, but it'll just make getting that cover off a lot easier. All right, so climbing here underneath the car, there is a 3/8 drive little square hole that you're going to use for the fill plug, and that's going to be on the front side of the differential. Just to show you where I am, here's the front side. The plug is right here. Obviously there's the drive shaft, exhaust, all that fun stuff. So we're going to pop that guy out first, just because the last thing we would want to do is drain all this fluid and then the fill plug be stuck in there, and then we're in trouble because now it's empty. So what I'm going to do here is spray just a little bit of PB Blaster here on this fill plug, which will hopefully just help that be a little bit easier coming out of there. What I also found helpful is making sure that whatever extension you use, make sure it is nice and squared on the end. I was using one that's a little bit more rounded like this one, and it was gonna try and strip that out. So just be mindful of that. Try and hopefully have one that's more squared, or maybe have the car in a better position where you can actually hold on from the back and twist it at the same time. I actually grabbed a 1/2 inch with an adapter and then put my nice squared end inside the plug, and then just with a little bit of muscle
got it to come loose. All right, so we got this thing draining out a little bit out the fill plug. That might happen. This thing might be slightly overfilled, but the car is also at a bit of an angle. So this is kind of normal. I'm just gonna let this run off until it stops, and then I'll probably screw in the fill plug just finger tight and then work on getting off the cover. All right, so now we got 10 bolts for the back of the cover. Now here's a little bit of advice, a little pro tip here. We'll save these last 3 bolts for the very end. We'll actually take everything off first. We might loosen these slightly, but what we want to do is we don't want this cover to just fall off. We actually want to be able to control the mess here. So we'll leave those up there. We'll pry this here, let all the fluid kind of run out, and then once it's done, then we'll take off the top couple bolts, pull the sucker out, and then we'll have free access to the inside and be able to check things out. Now, in the interest of time, I'm going to use my electric ratchet, but you can use a normal ratchet as well. And here's where I'm going to just loosen these bolts, but I'm not going to take them all the way out. I just want to have them a little bit loose so the cover has some room to move. And it seems like these top ones might have been a little loose as it was already, which is not great, but that's okay. And as you can see, this is on there pretty good. Now this was RTV the last time this was done, so as you can imagine, this might be a little bit of a pain in the butt to get off, but that's what we got our flathead screwdriver here for. And that's pretty milky, or metally, shall I say, rather shiny. All right, since we drained out the majority of the fluid, we'll go ahead and take out these top 3 bolts, which will let us take the cover completely off. I will say this fluid is less than ideal looking, but I don't think it's too bad. So we'll see what we find once we get this cover completely off. All right, so far we're looking not bad. At least all the teeth are there. Fluid, you know, it's a little sparkly, I'll admit, but you know, that's not unexpected in a differential. So I'll take a gander here. Everything kind of looks okay. So we might be just fine. This might just be some normal wear and tear. But I'm not seeing anything, at least on first look, that looks wrong. Fortunately, it looks like I found a little bit of damage on one of the spider gears inside the diff. So that might explain why the rear end has felt a little crunchy as of late and made a nice little pop noise earlier today when I was making a turn. And I think that is part of it. But of course, I don't have anything to rebuild this thing right now, and that's not terrible. Obviously not ideal, but what I'm gonna do is go ahead and get the surface here of the diff cover cleaned up. I'll get the mounting surface of the axle housing cleaned up, and we'll go ahead and put this thing back together. We'll throw some fresh fluid in it and just kind of let her roll for the time being, but it looks like we'll be doing a built rear end in this thing, which I never actually expected we'd have to do. So we got our diff cover pretty clean around the edge. There's just some pitting here to this, but it is clean. If you rub all the way around it, it is nice and smooth. We're gonna go ahead and take our gasket, make sure that it lines up, which in this case it does, and it should. And now we're ready to go ahead and put the cover back on. I'm gonna give it one more wipe out here with the brake clean, wipe off the whole thing, and then we'll start putting this thing on. And another quick tip here is to give your bolts a quick wipe down with some brake clean. Maybe take a little wire brush to it, clean them up, in case you have any RTV or anything like that, it'll just make it a lot easier to have those going in. All right, so we started putting the cover back on. I'm just gonna slowly hand thread each of these in just so they're all up there. Okay, now's when you're gonna wanna bust out your torque wrench. You're gonna wanna torque all these bolts down in a star pattern to 30 foot-pounds. So with the diff cover back on, it's time to go ahead and start filling this thing up. We're gonna take that fill plug out that we loosened earlier, and then we'll go ahead and throw one of these complete in, and then we'll throw in about 80% of this next one, and that's because this takes about 1.8, 1.9 quarts. And there is still a little bit left in there from the old fluid, and that's perfectly fine, not a big deal. I did go with these Valvoline ones just because they are in this nice kind of flexible, easy to squeeze type pouch. But of course you can go with the other kind as well. Just want to make sure that it is full synthetic. Honestly, there's no reason why you shouldn't go with full synthetic, and make sure that it has the limited slip additive, which this stuff already has. And if you don't have fluid with limited slip additive, make sure that you get some and add a few ounces as well, just to make sure that that diff stays nice and happy. All right, this is a little tricky to try and do with one hand, so you get the picture. We're just gonna squeeze this whole thing in first, and then we'll grab the next one and squeeze it in as well. The fill plug is back in. We got this thing nice and full of fresh fluid, so we'll go ahead and clean up this kind of mess that's going on here, and then we'll get it back on the ground, go take it for a quick drive around the neighborhood. All right, well, here we are, cruising about 25, 30 just through the neighborhood. It's gotten pretty late. This has been a little bit longer of a project than I expected, but good news is, so far so good. So we'll just have to see how it does over the next couple of days and weeks, but hopefully this will buy us a little bit more time with this rear end, even though I know it's gonna have to get rebuilt here at some point. Well, time will tell how long this is gonna last, but test drive went pretty solid. Didn't hear any noises. It did sound a little bit quieter with the windows up and everything off on the inside. So I'm hoping that we've bought a little bit more time with this rear end before we have to do a rebuild on it. But that pretty much wraps up this video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you drop a like, leave a comment down below, share it with a friend if they are in need of doing a diff service and don't know what the heck they're doing. Overall, it is pretty simple. It just takes a little bit of patience, and you got to be okay with making a little bit of a mess like I did. And it's definitely worth doing to make sure that you keep that thing in good shape. But other than that, once again, I hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something, and I'll see y'all in the next one.